Andy, Andy, have you heard the new LL album? Shit fire. Hey man, shit fire. When I tell you it's heat. Man. This is the adult mature LL. Yo, this is fire. I'm ready.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I am your teacher, your professor, Ken Ivey, and today's discussion is going to be on value. You know, I have my book here, The 48 Laws of Games, and the first chapter is Purge First, Ask Last. In the game, you know, that I used to be in, it isn't. You know, we used to always say purge first, ask last. And people used to always say, why would you say purge first, ask last? What is the purpose of that? Well, the purpose of that is because, you know, if you're going to deal with somebody to know that they're serious or know that they really value, you had to give you the purge first. And that's what that was all about. It's called a choosing fee. But in life, you know, we see multiple things where you have to pay up first. You know, a lot of people, you know, even, you know, in the prostitution game, you know, most guys that's in the game, they tell their girls, hey, baby, before you turn the date, make sure you get the money from the trick first. There's a reason why you want to get the money from the trick first, because you don't want that bride to have a date with a trick, and then all of a sudden after she had a date with the trick say, I ain't gonna pay you. But if she got the money up front and she turned the date, at least you know there was a fair exchange. Because a fair exchange is not a robbery. You know, so when a P or a pimp see a woman and she says she want to be with him, in a pimp's mind is that I got to meet on my Peter. The longer you stay, the longer you have to pay. So in his mind, he feels that he got to get paid for his time in the service because he feels that he working with some top flight game.
Okay, because you gonna get mad at me because I played that. That's Pimping Ken. 48 Laws of Game. Pimpology. Put out by Karen Hunter. Y'all gonna be mad at me because I put that out? But you could apply that rudimentary philosophy to other areas of pimping. You get pimped on your insurance. You get pimped on your mortgage. Huh? You think you own your house? Stop paying the property tax. Just go ahead. Do you know somebody could come in and buy your house if you are delinquent on the property tax? They go, oh, you delinquent 6 months on the property tax? They'll pay off what you owe in property tax takeover. Pimping. Apparently, pimping is pervasive, right? Right? Somebody said purse first. Women have reversed that. Instead of purse first, ass last, women are saying ass last, purse first. I'm just saying. I know you don't want to hear it like this. We live in a society that is Machiavellian. It's about manipulation. It's about usury. Where does manipulation come from? It comes from a lack of safety. I have to manipulate. I got to do whatever I need to do in order to secure my safety. And then when you add in the clinical, the philosophical, and the psychological, clinical and psychological basically the same. If you have an insecure attachment style, your attachment wound is calling the shots. Sometimes people will choose a toxic environment because it reminds them of home. Oh my goodness. Men and women do this, you know. So, what are we missing here, men? Are you the leader by default? Should you rule your relationships because you're a captain in the world? Should you rule the relationship by default of your gender? What if your template of leadership is toxic? I know a lot of men, when you sit down and you have conversations, I had to sit down with a brother. His woman was like, I don't think he'll sit down and talk to you. Nope. She was like, I don't think he'll sit down. Nope. I mean, he'll talk to me and he might ask a question for you through me, but I don't think he'll sit down with you and then he'll just open up and share. We've been taught not to open up and share. Shaq and Country Wayne was out here saying, nope, open up and share, it get used against you. And that isn't to marginalize what they were saying, because oftentimes that does happen. Men will open up, get vulnerable, and then their vulnerability gets weaponized against them in some cases. Not in all cases, but in some cases. Tough, right? Tough life to live. Before I go to the phone lines, let me just shout this out real quick. You guys got to be sure to tune in to KBLA Talk 1580 Tuesday night, tomorrow night at 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 8 p.m. Central, for the live coverage of the presidential debate, Vice President Kamala Harris versus former President Donald Trump. Immediately following the 90-minute debate, Dominique DePrima and Tavis Smiley will host a talk back session. I like that. Instead of a round table, it's a talk back session, right? And with a live audience who will be watching the debate here at our studio, right here in Leimert Park. So listen to the debate live Tuesday night and stay tuned right after it concludes to hear the live reaction from our viewing party audience. It's going to be cool here at KBLA in the heart of Leimert Park. You guys should tap in. Let me get to the phone line because we got a brother on the line. And this brother is a friend of the show, a friend of mine. And this brother is actually the person who created the term adult discipline. It wasn't Kevin Samuels. It was none other than Battle Creek's, none other than Battle Creek, Michigan's own Heru Ali. Heru, you came up with this? I could have sworn you told me this was Kevin Samuels, but this is you? Here we go.
KBLA, absolutely. Now listen, I leave the room that I may be wrong, but as far as I can remember, I coined the phrase adult discipline. Based upon.
Oh, here we go.
Spare the rod, quote unquote, spoil the child, right?
But that's the child. That's not your woman.
Wait, my brother.
I'm listening.
I'm gonna try and tie it all up. Spread the rod, spoil the child, quote unquote. Train up a child in the way they should go, and when they are adults, they will not depart from it. What am I trying to say? You know how our parents, they could only give you what they had. They couldn't give you what they didn't have.
Mm-hmm.
We have epigenetics,
Right.
post-traumatic slave, post-traumatic hood syndrome, all of that that's been passed down. All the trauma's been passed down. So yes, a lot of our parents were unable to train up a child in the way that they should go.
Mm-hmm.
And when they become adults, you see what I'm saying? Spare the rod, spoil the child. Let's get to this adult discipline. There's various levels to adult discipline. Yes, I coined the phrase in my mind.
Well, okay, help me to understand, because it's not a clinical term. So what is the definition? Now, before you give it to me, we're going to come forward. I want you to think about it, because it sounds abusive to me. You're going to have to make this make sense, because I still don't see the correlation between spare the rod, and spoil the child. I still don't see the correlation. When we come forward, we going back to Battle Creek, Michigan. Haru Ali is on the line. Oh, it's going down. It's going down. Man, it's crazy in here tonight. Ladies, y'all can call in too. What up, Melody? Kenny, you should have been in here, dog. What up, Christopher? Man, it's radio. I know a lot of people don't get all of the notifications, right? I know y'all don't get the notifications. Have you guys noticed that some people that were in the last live are not back? They probably can't find it, didn't get a notification. And some people, I'm saying the people who were in the last live didn't get the notification, weren't able to make their way back. And now there's some people in this live that weren't in the first live. And they like, what up, Zoe? I ain't seen you in a minute. You know what I'm saying? So it's clear that YouTube will select who gets notifications and what. It's kind of whack. But all I can ask you guys to do is hit the like button, hit the share button. It's kind of whack. Christopher, what up with you, man? Hey, who saw today's Zoe What Morning Show? Hey, I let today's Zoe What Morning Show go a little longer than normal. Who saw today? What up, Derek Cooper? That bell don't work. Long time, still here. Eyes doing good. What up? For sure. Notifications don't always work. Never ending. What up? Atsuko. Did I say it correctly? Atsuko. I heard the end of the show. Love for LL Cool J. That's right. L has always been one of my favorites, man. Always been. I think he's 4 years older than me. He's always been one of my favorites. One of the greatest ever, in my opinion. We got 10 people in here who still haven't hit the like button. Can I get y'all to hit the like button, please?
Relationships is like psychology. It's a science. You know, most people don't understand the science of relationships. Most people, they dive in like swimmers, you know, head first. So, you know, a lot of people end up getting hurt. A lot of people end up being in precarious situations. But one thing I always taught my daughters, and I teach any woman that listen to me, that the worst thing you can do is give your cookies up on the first date. You never want to give a man your cookies up. The more you let him sweat you, the more he go out his way. If you want to get the flowers, if you want to get the ring, if you want to get the money, if you want to get the Louis Vuittons, the Jimmy Choos, then you got to be hard to get. And that's hard for a lot of you women when y'all see that handsome guy. You know, you think he packing or whatever, you know what I mean? He might got that wood or that ring to hook up, and you thinking, you know, hey man, it's gonna be a sexual explosion. But really what you're doing, you're selling yourself cheap. Because most men, once they get it, the thrill is gone. Like BB King said, the thrill is gone. So you know what I mean? You don't want the thrill gone, you want him to chase you. You know, as long as you got him chasing you, you can win. You know, that's the object of the game. I know some women didn't have men chase them in excess to hundreds of thousands. I didn't see women make men chase them into marriage and to actually squaring up and really just want to be in a relationship because that woman was so hard to get. By the time he got to the woman, he felt that he had achieved the prize. Now on the flip side, men, we can't be as lucky as women are. Women are not going to chase us. So the art of getting a woman and making a woman crazy on the male side is that you have to flower her. You have to shower her with gifts. You have to treat her nice, tell her beautiful things, tell her how beautiful she is. You know, take her to expensive restaurants. Buy her beautiful things, then cut her ass off.
That's actual pimp. That's Pimping Ken. Best-selling author. He got books. And you might disagree with his delivery. You might disagree with his articulation. But even if you're doing a higher version of what he's talking about, a more refined version of what he's talking about, is it still not manipulation? You heard the tactics that were laid down. So when I come in here and I get philosophical and deep, everybody be like, oh, that was a heavy show. I'm not calling in. I don't want to get exposed. So then I bring it down to your level. Right? I bring it down to your level. That's where most of us are. Right? Manipulation. That's where most of us are. Even if it's more articulate, even we talking politics. Politics ain't pimping. Tell you what you want to hear, then not give it to you. Then breadcrumb you with little pieces of it, and you think, oh, I got some of it. Is that not pimping? We know pimping is happening in the pulpit. And not all preachers, but let's not act like spiritual abuse is not real. See, we think if we don't pay attention to it, it ain't real. Okay. If we don't talk about it, it ain't real. It's real in your house. Okay. All right. Haru, get back in here, brother.
Here we go. Let's get it.
Come on. You got to give us that definition of
Yeah,
adult
definition.
discipline.
Absolute adult discipline. And listen, in a nutshell, what adult discipline is, it's nothing abusive. It's nothing abusive at all. What adult discipline is, it is wise course correction for your protection,
Okay.
whether it be from a woman or a man.
So it's bi-directional.
It's absolute, everything is.
There we
Yin
go.
and yang.
Come on, Haru. Raise it up
Yin and
then.
yang.
Yes.
So here we go. Listen, you don't even need discipline to learn a course correcting lesson.
Mm-hmm.
I give you the example of myself. I grew up in the 80s in elementary school in my uncle's drug house. He sold heroin, he sold cocaine, all that stuff. We used to chop up this is about to trigger some folks. And Muzz would be like, you know what, we used to do that. We used to get the Jet magazines, and we'd take the razor blade, we would cut them up so we can make them packets to package street-level pharmaceuticals. And then later in the 80s, 82, 83, we went to the rock. I said all that to say this. I saw all of the professionals, nurses and factory workers coming in to get that illegal substance and how it changed their lives. And I saw that and I said, for all the things that I know that I want to do in my future, I cannot mess with none of this right here.
Mm.
You understand what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So that I got the life learning lesson that discipline means through observation.
Okay.
Adult discipline is wise course correction. And just like Coach Rock said, listen, I don't advocate, domestic physical violence, intimate partner violence, but guess what? Some folks need to need to be shook. Some need to be shook. They need the feces shook out of them. Excuse me, do you remember who I am? And first of all, even before all that, why are you even with someone, one, that you don't think has wisdom and is better than you in so many ways? Because men and women aren't equal. We were not created to be equal. So let's just keep it all the way real.
But come on, Haru. Haru, I gotta push back.
Come on.
You can't shake them up, right? Or shake
You
the,
absolutely can.
or shake
You absolutely can.
as
I'm not
wait, hold on,
supposed to
wait,
do it, but
hold on. As Jeff Brown would say, you cannot shake the bovine feces out of them. Shaking them is not gonna change them. It's not gonna make them see it your way. You're just gonna terrify them. You're gonna frighten them. And you don't want your woman frightened of you, right?
Yeah, yes, absolutely. They should be at certain points.
Wait, stay with me. No. Wait. Stay with me, Haru. This ain't a laughing matter, Haru. You cannot be shaking your woman. You cannot get physical with them, bro. And let me just say this. Tell me if you disagree. You know how people say, if you use profanity to make a point, right? That means you don't.
Uneducated.
That means
lack of vocabulary.
Yeah, right. All of that. Right. You're not articulate enough to make your point. I'm just saying, if you got to get physical. Wait, hold on. Wait, hold on. But if you got to get physical, that means you couldn't sit down and have a conversation. And if they're unwilling to listen, why did you stay? When we come forward, I'm going back to Battle Creek. My guy is in here wilding. Ladies, Haru is in here on fire. Ladies, F around and find when he going back to jail as a domestic violence survivor. Let me tell you, it's real. Come on, ladies. On the Sean Connery side of the game, y'all wildin'. This man is abusive, so ladies, call in and deride it. I'm trying to call in, but no, that no but ums. Ladies ain't got discipline with that rose. What does that got to do with anything? My sister used to say, what does that have to do with the price of tea in China? The rice was good, but the chicken was cold. Y'all stupid. The rose be having them shook, really? Y'all stupid. We got a crazy group in here tonight. Suge Mac 510, we in here wilding, y'all. Like it's a whole wild out right now. Where are my other callers? Where are y'all at? I don't understand. I'm looking over there. I don't see the callers popping. Fortunately for me, I'm only going to be here for 2 shows this week. Monday and Thursday. That's it. Y'all a little too familiar with me. I be here too much. That's what it is.
Your relationship is in trouble, I'm gonna do the call. Has your soulmate become your cellmate? Does black love still exist? What are your bedroom turnoffs? Fantasies and fetishes. Financial infidelity. I'm dating a fat person. Are they worth the wait? Trust me, this gonna be crazy.
I don't see you calling.
And you still have to pay child support. It's a very heated topic. Oh, that right. Mama's baby, daddy's maybe.
I just have so many questions I want to ask you.
I don't think this gonna be a roll down. Damn.
A little too familiar. That's what it is.
How does he maintain his humposity?
He likes it when it pinches the lip.
Why can't you open up, brother? Spider-Man on the inside. They don't show their weaknesses.
Yeah.
How do you make women so well?
So Williams. Reason and accountability. The voice of reason.
You think a man can motivate a woman to do or be X, Y, Z?
Yes.
And vice versa. And vice versa. Yes. But what's missing from that calculus is, let's take it out of a relationship. Basically, if you got the money and the credit rating to afford a Bentley, you're not going to go get a car you got to repair. And we've told women that men should accept having to, men who go out here and work 60, 70, 80 hours, putting in the work in the field, in the office, in the studio, trying to get out here to separate themselves from the competition. I don't have time to come on and try to motivate you to take your ass to the gym when you know that's what I want in the first place. You think?
That was the legendary Kevin Samuels. He was on the TI podcast. Again, credit scores and Bentleys, and you should know your position. I've raised you up in life. Do you understand the mentality here? Listen, you want a woman in your life that can, say you just got off the battlefield with yourself, working to overcome something you've been through in your past. Say you're putting the work in, you're going to therapy, you've taken up martial arts, or weight training or meditation, right? You're putting in the work. And say you had an exceedingly difficult day. To be able to come home to a woman who understands the internal war that you have been in to overcome, right, certain internal struggles and challenges. Had a tough day of therapy. The therapist just revealed something very profound about one of your wounds. And your woman is keen to your state of being without you having to articulate. And I'm not saying that's prerequisite. You should be able to articulate how you feel. But let's say she is keen and recognizes how you feel and begins to support you with empathy, a spiritual salve, right? To be able to encourage you and say, we're going to make it through this. I know this was tough, a tough revelation for you, but we're going to make it through this, right? First off, that's rare. That's rare. But understand this, brother. If you haven't put in the work and won internal battles, how can you ask for that kind of support? I think that's important because I think with men in general, where our focus is dominating the world, getting what the world has to offer. And once we get what the world has to offer, we think the women come with it. 50 said it. 50 said that in a rhyme. You tripping on a girl, don't you know they come with the money? That's what he said. And that's a masculine, you could say it's toxic masculine. I don't use that term. But that's a masculine mentality that says, if I get my life in order, Kanye said it, wait till I get my money right. Lord, ain't nobody gonna say nothing to me. Least of all, my woman. The toxic leadership template. Healing, brothers. Healing leads to revealing, right? Revealing what needs to be healed starts the process. When the process starts, we start to evolve. We begin to elevate. Men don't take spirituality and spiritual healing of their own wounds very seriously. We don't have a lot of time for it. And anything that takes away our competitive edge out in the world makes us a liability. We turn from predator to prey, not knowing that we're already prey because we're unhealed. Heru Ali, get back in here, because it sounds like you're justifying putting your hands on a woman in some capacity.
I'm glad you asked me that. I'm glad you.
I need you to clear it up for me.
Yeah, absolutely not. Absolutely not. No abuse at all. And I give you these examples. We are Generation X.
Mm-hmm.
And for every Generation X that are listening right now within the sound of my voice, here is what you heard from your abuser. This hurts me more than it hurts you.
Wow.
While you're getting whooped, this hurts me more than it hurts you. From the abuser, who's now feeling the lashes of the belt, of the switch, of the racetracks, of the extension cord, of the spoon in the kitchen. You know what I'm saying? This hurts me. Are you serious?
Wait, hold on. Hold on. Are you saying, and because this can make some sense to me, are you saying because you were abused, you're using old school, how we used to get our butts whooped modalities, right? Are you saying because mama abused us, we take that abusive style into adult relationships, and because we perceive ourselves to be right, we get to dole out adult correction, discipline. Is that what you're telling me?
Oh, I thought we were talking about child. You just flipped it up from child to adult. But here's the thing, and I'll answer both of those, child and adult. When a woman has a baby, and that baby is able to walk, explore, because listen, they brand new, they coming straight from the matrix. They're trying to explore and figure out what's going on. Don't touch the stove, it's hot. Or they do this, and you know that they know that they weren't supposed to do it, but they do it anyway. What do? You discipline them. You give them a smack on the head, give them a smack on the butt, on the thigh, whatever, and everybody views that as, oh, you're doing it because you love that baby, and you're trying to teach.
But no, but wait, Heru, you were right. Wait, Heru, let me wait, because I don't want you. I don't want you to be redundant, because you said this in the first hour. You basically said adult discipline is being able to correct each other. Is that correct?
Wise correction.
Wise
course correction.
Yes.
Yeah.
And you said it was bidirectional.
From a man to a woman.
So
Bidirectional.
Okay. So is it bidirectional? Can she come shake you up when you out of pocket?
Absolutely. Well, absolutely. If I'm out of pocket. See, here's the thing.
But her shaking you up won't have the same impact as you shaking her up.
Absolutely not, because we're not equal. We were not born equal. So yes, it will not have the same effect. You're absolutely correct.
So there's no equity in that.
There's no equity in life. What is equity? Do you have 4 acres in you?
Wait a minute. Let's not hold on. Let's not go to 40 acres in the mule in the Freedmen's Bureau. So but the point that I'm making is, okay, can she extrapolate something of equal impact that might not be physical? Maybe.
Absolutely. I'm about to tell you what that is. Stay there.
Okay, let's hear that.
You know what she can say to me? Pull me to the side and say, good heart. Good heart. Have we ever had an argument?
The Malcolm X movie.
Never. Well, we're going to have one tonight if we can't have a conversation.
But wait, hold on.
Love to do a course correction.
I need you.
Open your eyes. You can conceive
Wait.
being assassinated every day, 24 hours a day. But the thought of betrayal never goes through your mind.
I need you to make this make sense. You're saying she can course correct you with empathy, but you can course correct her with a shakeup. You said that, man. Now, to me, these are polar opposite methodologies here. You're saying she got to come to you and hit you with the dear heart from Malcolm X movie.
That's feminine.
So
we got to play our role.
Wait, stop. If we go by the CDC tells us the most violent gender in intimate relationships and domestic violence are women.
Yes.
So don't make it seem like women are not violent, sir.
No, absolutely violent as hell.
So I don't.
What I'm saying is, no damage is needed to shake somebody. No, you're grabbing article of clothing that you probably bought. You know what I'm saying?
So
you're just shaking the vessel that's inside to say, hey, I think you forgot who the F I am. Course correction.
Wait, so you're Sean Connery right now. You're Sean Connery right now.
Yeah, absolutely. Listen, back in the 1800s, when white women of these Anglos, shout out to Grady, the Anglos, what they used to do in certain areas when their wives was out of control, they would make them come with only their undergarments and prostrate before them and ask them for forgiveness in public. We're not physical. We're not beating. We're not going to, the feast of Saturnalia and all of that stuff. No, we're good. Absolutely, adult. Listen,
Hey, Heru,
I don't
wait,
want
stay
no
with me,
other
Heru.
going on.
Stay with me,
Yes,
Heru.
sir.
Stay with me,
Yes.
brother.
I love you.
Hey, listen, brother, I love you. But we cannot tolerate the mentality of justifying putting your hands on a woman unless she's trying to kill you.
No. Yeah, absolutely. I never said, I said gathering up of the clothing that is up around that.
No! Would you shake your daughter up like... Listen, I've never shook my daughter.
Oh, okay. I listen, okay.
My daughter, I could tell my daughter, hey. She'd be like, oh.
You've never done it because you've never needed to do it.
I've never needed to.
She voluntarily chose within her young mind that whatever daddy says, I'm going to follow. So she didn't need no course correction by way of shaking. Yes?
But the only time you can shake, what I'm saying, but shaking her,
I'm not saying drop, equal rights and equal less, or none of that type of stuff, no stomping and none of that. But excuse me, listen, in the military, are you serious?
Tell us. Wait, tell us. What did they do in the military? Please share your experience.
I don't know if you ever had a knuckle, what's called a knuckle sandwich, to either your eye or your grill. Are you serious? I'm not talking about none of that. I'm not talking about breaking no capillaries in your body at all. I'm going to grab the outer garments that I paid for, and I'm going to make sure I have your full attention, because it seems like you are distracted.
So wait a minute.
Who I am in real life.
So you're telling me in the military, women that are in the military get punched?
You absolutely what? Everybody gets punched at some point in the military career.
Heavy stuff.
But
Heru, what I'm talking about is interpersonal relationships.
Yes.
And within interpersonal relationships,
don't have interpersonal relationships.
I'm not saying they don't. I'm talking about civilians right now, out here on the streets.
Okay, civilians.
Okay,
Yes.
different context when you're in training, right? I'm talking about civilians out here on the streets. And I think I think ideas and concepts like adult discipline is problematic. You know why? Because most people are going to define it based on their personal experience, right? Based on their personal experience. Now, in our society, men are taught to repress their emotions, which makes them walking powder kegs.
Absolutely.
Makes them volatile, correct?
Yes, sir, go ahead.
Okay, so all I'm saying is, in order to be an adequate leader in an intimate relationship, one must have dealt with some of his own internal issues in order for a woman to be able to say, that's a good man and one who is worthy of me following him. Now, if a man...
That's point number one, if y'all didn't write that down.
Right.
I was giving y'all that reminder. That's point number one.
So if a man has to go to the point in his leadership that he got to shake his woman up, even pimps will tell you, don't hit her. They'll tell you that. Don't have sex with her and don't hit her. If you got it... Listen, you... Sit tight. When we come forward, me and Heru Ali gonna keep fighting. Heru! Right now, Heru is the caller of the year. Heru right now is the caller of the year. Hustle Habit, you got to get in here. So, Andy, the chat is saying something's up with the phones. They trying to call. Wait, hold on. What happened? I can barely hear you. Now I can hear you. Really? They said we've been trying to call. They said it just rings. He said keep on calling. I'm going soft, man. Y'all niggas don't know me. So tell us that's the alcohol talking. Violence on both sides. Did I not say that, Mimi? Like what part are you missing, Mimi, that I said? I don't drink alcohol, so I don't know the reference. No, I'm not talking about you, Kenny. I'm talking about Mimi. Mimi said, I hope that's not the alcohol talking. She said, Zoe, tell us that's the alcohol talking. Violence on both sides is wrong. I think I advocate that. Clearly. So you missed what was said, but yet commented. See what I just did right there? That's considered, in my relationship, Zoe wildin', Zoe angry, Zoe is mad, Zoe out of control, Zoe is abusive, right? I've been told that before, right? I've been told that before. You see how I just said? So you miss a critical key point in the conversation, but yet you chose to comment. See, if I bring up something, oh, Zoe talking shit, Zoe getting spicy. I've been told that. No, I understand but still, we live in a society that's about getting our point across because the chat and the texting and the DMing and the posting. Do you get what I'm saying? So oftentimes our focus is on what we want to express as opposed to just sitting back and observing. Like I always tell people when they come into the chat, give yourself a moment before you comment. Listen and catch the flow. You good. You good.
You're gonna get those reactions, but you ain't got the game. The game is to lay what you lay down first.
Yes.
It starts with me. I'm gonna lay it down first, right? And then she's gonna be able to observe it, and then she's gonna relinquish and be like, okay, I trust you, right? The reason why that's because brides don't trust. They don't trust. They don't trust no men.
And they don't trust a lot because, like I said earlier, men are always showing up to be one thing, and then they're not that. And if you show up and say you one thing, I'm trying to tell you, if you want a woman not to change, like she may go through some stuff, right? But when she know that you just ain't that important at the end of the day, and she feel like she done gave up, and she think that you just gonna accept anything, then you gonna keep getting played with, right? If you keep accepting it and you say, you know, God, didn't I tell you this, and this, and that ain't who I am, but then you keep accepting it, she gonna keep playing with you, and it's gonna be like that, and that's what you gonna get out of that.
Oh my God. This is, y'all listen, can we be honest? Let me ask y'all, what do y'all think? Do you guys think that's toxic? The rhetoric, what's being spoken, do you think it's toxic? I want to know. Heru Ali, get back in here.
Listen, I just want to say, finally, I'm gonna sign off that I love our women. Yeah, I'm not with the physical abuse and all that stuff. I am only with sometimes I need to get your attention, and you might need to be shook from left to right with no harm done. And don't be with a man that even before you purchase your favorite car because you working and got the income and all that stuff, should I get this or not? If you don't call your man and say, your man, your husband, your boyfriend, and say, love, I'm thinking about buying this. What do you know? It's like, well, they have these recalls, blah, 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 blah. And with our children, we feel warm and fuzzy, disciplining them, and that wasn't abuse. When I coined the term adult discipline, yeah. Peace and love to the family and nation. I love y'all. Please stay safe and dangerous.
Hey, man, thank you for the call, man. An interesting insight. We appreciate you reaching out. Battle Creek, Michigan is in the building. Listen, I already know this show, the phone lines would be berserk right now. But Andy has informed me that our phone lines have been kind of messed up all week long from last week. People are telling me in the chat, we call it, we can't get through, it's just ringing. I know that the phone lines are bananas, right? So whatever the issue is with the phones, we apologize. Andy says, keep trying to call in, though. That's the only way to get through. We're not registering that they're ringing here, but call us and let us. Oh, Andy is called. Andy just called and it's ringing. So everybody in the chat who's saying they call in, now's the time to call in because the phone is actually working. So let me just go back to Heru's final point. We can't advocate any level of violence against women. And I know that there's a double standard, and we can get into the CDC stats. You heard me talk about this before. You know, the bottom line is this. If you're in a relationship that's toxic, that gets to the point where you got to get physical, you got to get out. There's no justification. You can't make somebody think a certain way or see a particular perspective. If they don't want to see it, fine. I told my son years ago, never try to convince an unwilling ear. Somebody that is unwilling to listen. And at the end of the day, who says what you say is right anyway? What kind of rigorous critique have you put on what you believe to be the truth to you? When we come forward, I see we got callers coming through, man. We about to get it. Andy? I called several times too. 1-800-920-1580. Well, we got 2 callers in. So I don't know what they did, but we got them. Hey, and as crazy as this show has been, is it me or is this show flying? It's already 8:30. Keep calling, Attila. Nah, hustle. Hustle. We don't do jokes, hustle. Not me and you. Hustle. We do insight, bro. Call in, hustle. Call in, hustle. Keep calling. Kiki Long, meaning I won't be my best. I might not cook or do things, speak special for him. Nazarene said, what a night. Nazarene is wild. All y'all crazy. Y'all wild. I hope you guys are supporting the Cash App. I really do. Kiki Long, what do you mean what's funny? Are you talking to me? I don't really know. Sometimes I don't know what the conversations that are going on in the chat. I don't know. So
It's a topic for you, Zo. This is some facts.
let's see. A man will put his happiness aside for his woman, but his woman will put her man aside for her happiness. I think we did that topic.
Yeah?
We literally did that topic.
All right.
Didn't we do that topic?
I don't know.
Attila. No more hologram. No, on Amazon, yes. Amazon, yeah, we did that topic. We did that. Amazon has copies of everything. Diamond Blue, what up? Meme-based marriages is stupid. So for the new people in here, because clearly I don't know what's happening with people's phones. I think what happens, even though I have my phone on Do Not Disturb, if somebody calls me, it interrupts the feed. I don't know what's going on. Yeah, we got all them topics. Listen, do you know we have 470 topics? If you go to Apple Podcasts, Google Play, Spotify, Pandora, Amazon Music, we're everywhere. iHeart, we're everywhere. 90,000 Voice of Reason downloads in the month of August. For the month of August, 90,000 downloads for the Voice of Reason podcast. So whatever YouTube is on right now, I don't know what they own. You got 74,000 subscribers here, but they don't have access to all the shows. Why don't they have access to all the shows? Because they're not being notified. And I don't know what the issue is with YouTube. I don't know. You know, maybe they don't want to see another quote unquote Kevin Samuels. I'm no Kevin Samuels in terms of my content, but maybe they don't want to see another, you know, relationship platform blow up like that. That's headed by a black man. Maybe that's it. But 90,000 downloads on Amazon last month alone. Voice of Reason. That's what it is, talking too much sense. Diamond Blue, thank you.
The voice of reason.
Here I am. R-A-W, a terrorist. Here to bring trouble to all MCs.
What you're asking me for, I don't know how to give you. I wouldn't give it to you anyway. But I don't even know how to give you. And that's my manhood. I can't give you that. And if that's what you require to stay, you're going to have to keep pushing. Right? Because I know I'm not going to give you my manhood. Right? But the reason why I set it up that way, remember I said to you guys, because I know when situations like that happen, that female is going to go out of her way to try to tear your goddamn heart out. She's going to do everything in her power to tear your goddamn heart out. And she knows you. She knows the things you dislike. She knows the things that you're uncomfortable with. And them the things she's going to focus on. To tear your goddamn heart out. To make you hurt. To make you pain. She ain't even caring about what it makes her look like. She ain't doing it for that. She doing it to win. And the extent a female will go to win, right, is she'll go mess with your best friend, she'll go sleep with other guys and be out there loose, knowing that all those things are something you despise, right? But she go.
Listen, the landscape for the majority of relationships is rampant toxicity. I know you don't want to hear it. This is why most men try so hard to gain control of their lives, get their proverbial ish together. Because if I got my money together, you can't tell me nothing. Do you understand? I'm basically a dictator of my life. Why wouldn't I be a dictator in my relationship? This is what I'm saying. Just because somebody is successful, it doesn't mean that they are a success. They are a success of conquering their internal wounds. Most men opt to lead with their wallet, to lead with their accomplishments. Most. Very few men opt to lead with their character. Now, women, don't get bamboozled. Just because a man leads with his character doesn't mean he does not have character flaws. He does not have internal challenges. It's almost like when we're talking about attachment theory. When we say secure attachment doesn't mean perfect. It might not be insecure, one of the three insecure attachments, but secure attachments, they still have their problem as a whip, as a work in progress. They still have issues. They just are conditioned to deal with those issues a little bit differently. The paradox of do as I say, not as I do, is another complex issue in intimate relationships. Although theoretically plausible, Krishnamurti's teachings suggest that human beings cannot escape the deep psychological conditioning that their actions reveal. Attempts to enforce rules without embodying them can foster distrust and resentment, especially in intimate partnerships where emotional authenticity is the cornerstone of connection. This inconsistency in behavior and expectations creates a fertile ground for dysfunction, where one partner may attempt to enforce order while simultaneously disregarding the same principles for themselves. So you can't do what you do. You can't do to your spouse what you do to your kids. Do as I say, not as I do. Right? That's what makes it impossible to kind of work, because you're dealing with another adult. That's why I don't believe you can discipline another adult. Dr. Mark Goulston, rest in peace, said it a little bit differently. Stand beside me in public, right? Stand for me, stand up for me in a conflict, and stand up to me in private. Stand up to me in private. Now, I'm a flawed man. I'm a good man, but I have my issues, right? I'm a good man, but I have my issues. One of my issues that I have identified a lot of times, because I've been doing things by myself and on my own in life, sometimes it's hard for me to take counsel from my woman. Sometimes I keep my business and everything that I'm doing and working on, I don't even bring it to the table. And that's something, I need to work on, right? Or if my woman has an issue and brings it to me. In the past, I might have been like, what's the problem? Let me fix it. But now I listen better. Before, I would just like, especially when I was in my 30s, my God. You ran into me in my 30s, my goodness, I just wasn't listening. I listen a lot better now. And when I was in my 30s, I didn't make adjustments. You could bring something to me and I'd be like, yeah, that's cool. And if I didn't see it as valuable, I wouldn't make an adjustment. Now I consider and I think about it, and then I make adjustments. Especially if it's coming from an authentic space, a space of, I'm trying to up-level you, I'm trying to expose a blind spot in you. To me, those moments build intimacy for me, because that makes me understand this person has my back. They're looking out for me. They don't want me to look bad. They're trying to, support me in the best way that they know how. Back in the day, I wasn't listening to nothing. Absolute, what? You're talking. This is what you're doing, and this is what I want you to do. Back then. I'm different now. It took me a lot to even get to that point, right? Nurture. Nature versus nurture, right? In emotional wounds. In intimate relationships, the debate between nature and nurture is particularly pertinent to the wounds individuals carry into their partnerships. Babette Rothschild's work on trauma emphasizes that emotional injuries, whether from childhood neglect or genetic predisposition, affect relational dynamics. The toxicity of adult discipline often stems from unresolved trauma, where partners enforce boundaries, or engage in power struggles, not as a means for fostering growth, but as a projection of their unhealed wounds. Indicators of such dysfunction includes excessive control, punitive behavior, or withdrawal in moments of conflict. Listen, this is what's really happening in relationships right at this moment. When I come forward, I got folks on the line that want to talk about it. Let's get it. Hey man, let me take a look at the Cash App. Hopefully I won't be disappointed. Let's see. Nazarene X and Zinga and Jesse, thank you for the Cash Apps. The Cash App is $Zoe What Netter. Moderators, can you put the Cash App so people can support the show? I would appreciate whatever you guys can do to support. When a woman doesn't know when to shut the fuck up, I'm just... Thank you, Kiki Long. None of us know when to shut the fuck up. Dustin. Is that Dustin? Destin? Dustin. Here we go. Oh, shit. Kiki Long. Live in a minute. I'm gone for basically the week. I'm off tomorrow and Wednesday. Here, let me call your name out, Kiki Long. I didn't see it, but Kiki Long, thank you. Thank you, Kiki.
Times have you been in a relationship with a woman, she expressed how she felt and you did nothing? You didn't validate her feelings, you gaslit her, you never changed, right? But yet, she kept trying to express her feelings to you. This just reaffirms how sensitive men are. Men are the ones who aren't in control of our emotions. Listen, he said he did this one time. All it took was one time of his feelings being invalidated, and he shut down completely. Moving forward, he ain't gonna never express himself to the next girl, or blah 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 blah. Right? As if women don't go through this constantly. So don't try to use this as an excuse. The reason why you don't want to express yourself anymore is because you've been conditioned to be guarded. And in your mind, you think that being guarded and not expressing your true emotions gives you some type of like leverage over a woman. So really, this is about control.
So we brothers, we not gonna acknowledge that we do this? Like, the worst thing we could do is say it's her fault only. We are coming to these relationships with something. And until we deal with whatever it is we're coming to the relationship with, you can't say you the sun and she the moon, and the moon gets its light from the sun. So whatever in you has not been dealt with, is it not going to be reflected back into her? Whatever chaos you come with, are you not going to stir up that chaos in her? And it don't matter how much money you got or how many resources you have. The spiritual purpose for a relationship is to elucidate what is hidden in your spirit. Not for them to see, but for you to see and correct, brothers. All right, we got people on the line. Who's been on the longest? Attila from Houston, Texas. Attila, get in here. What are your thoughts on tonight's topic? Lord, when you start off with Lord, oh my goodness.
I had a couple of things there. So I saw a comment that somebody left, I think it was Jack. He said, success or achievements requires we constantly must look ahead or onwards rather than back or within. Therefore, we garner unresolved wounds or issues, sorry.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's the thing. That's some of the divide. When you have those of us that are actually waking up and wanting to do the work and look within, and then there's some of us who aren't. And so you're just going to constantly have issues, I think, until the two meet. So that there's that.
Mm-hmm.
Also, this whole idea of like discipline and control. What about convincing? Right? To me, that's the more feminine side, but you're still doing the same thing. So instead of controlling someone,
you're influencing them.
Uh-huh.
Ooh, Lord have mercy.
I'm just saying, you get more bees with honey or whatever, however that show is saying goes. Something about vinegar, honey, whatever. And then something else, let's see, Jack also said it's why most men see their achievements as solid ground to stand on. And how dare the woman look at the foundation? Boy, that took me out. He said, look to where I got you, not to what got us here. So my thing with that is this. Look where I got you. We're in 2024, where everybody paying bills. Am I wrong? Like, if I'm in my 30s or 40s or whatever, and I meet the love of my life, I've spent all those years basically building myself up, right? Mm-hmm. Working just like you, doing things just like you, maybe going after a career or passion or whatever. So what is it that makes someone think that a person would just give that up? If they're really drawn to that.
Interesting take.
Are you asking me, I'm just saying, are you asking me to change or exchange what I feel about myself and what it is that I'm using to propel myself forward, my purpose, for your rule?
For your rule. Listen to that. Ooh.
Do I need to exchange what God put me on this earth to do for your protection and provision? Is that what you're asking me to do? That would be my question.
I think many men are asking that. You got to follow what I'm on. Mm-hmm. Can we be honest, men? I think many men are asking.
And my question is that woman as effective without her purpose as she is with it?
You know, men don't think women have purpose.
Hmm?
Your purpose was to find me.
And therein, I think, lies the problem.
You starting to see what I'm saying.
Would you tell your daughter, right? Like, would you tell your daughter that your purpose for me raising you right now is to rear you for another man? Does that sound right?
But that's what I'm saying to you, Attila. This is the world we live in. Like, this is the vestige of, if I dominate the world, I dominate everything in my world. That's how most men think. Do you see? Your purpose was to find me, and the rest is on me. And you have to capitulate to the direction I'm going in. That's how most men think. In general.
And I get it. I just, no. And it's interesting because I think that on one side of that, I understand the logic, the idea is, well, I'm the leader, I'm the strong one, I'm the whatever. But it also is somewhat tone deaf because it shows that you don't have understanding and knowledge of other areas that people lead in.
Women do.
And your own blind spot.
Right. Women do have purpose. Let me give you a quick example. My daughter, she graduated. She got her bachelor's in theater and acting and all of this and that. I'm like, yo, baby, I know people. I'm making phone calls. I got a call with you for this person and that. But she said, Father. She didn't say father. She said, Dad, stop. She said, don't help me. I'm going to do this on my own. I don't want your help right now. She said, now, if it gets crazy and I need you, then I'll call you. But right now, let me venture out on my own and see if I can do it. I was like, but I helped your brother. I got him and I did him and I took him there. And then she's like, no. So she has her own path and her own purpose. Oftentimes, men don't feel like they have a life unless the wife they have or the person they have is under their dominion and following their direction. That's for many people. Atala.
They're codependent to the role. Yeah.
Codependent to the role. Oh, I got to let you go now. I got to get Kenny on. My God. Codependent to the role. We might have to do a part 2 on this. Hey, Atala, we love you. You brought Houston, Texas, and my God, codependent to the role. Bruh, Kenny, you don't have a lot of time, man. You got to make this short and sweet, man. Tell me, man, what are your thoughts?
I'm just going to say that a lot of the end of the conversation really was tilted towards men.
It's a conversation for men.
It's a conversation for men. Cool.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Now, with adult discipline and what you rules that were saying, it's hard because I only got like 2 minutes. Okay. Man.
I'm with you. Got less now. You got even. It's all good. We'll talk to Kenny. We'll talk to you later.
All right.
So let me just say, you can't give insight until you discover the light. Right? John chapter 1. It is the light that shineth in the darkness, yet the darkness comprehendeth it not. You have to discover the light of you. Right? You have to discover the truth of you, brother. There's no way you can give insight unless you discover the light. And that light is within you. You have to start the healing process. And listen, I've been there many times where I've fallen on my face and I've made mistakes. And the only way to grow up in the situation was to show up by taking responsibility for what I said and did. Right? You find a woman who could understand that you're in that process of humanity, you found a good thing. If you find a woman that's inflexible, that only believes you should show up and never fall, then you need to think about what you're attracted to. Listen, I started the conversation. It's up to you to finish it. Look, when we come forward, Zoe will be back on Thursday. Yeah, I'm off tomorrow and Wednesday. I'll be back on Thursday with another slapper. All right? Deuces.
KBLA 1580 Santa Monica.
Bang, bang, bang. Men, man. My brothers. This was a great show. Great show. Excellent show. Appreciate y'all. Thank y'all for tapping in. Thank y'all for rocking with your brother. Mimi, great job on the moderation. Thank you, bro. Great job on the moderation, Mimi. Appreciate everything. Attila, great conversation. This girl said codependent to the role. God damn. God damn. God damn. God damn. I'm up out of here. Boy, it feels good to have some days off. It feels good to have some days off. It feels good to have some days off. God damn. God damn. I slapped you tonight. All right, there, y'all. I'm going to holla. Deuces.